تزورون اسماء وردكم لبوس لويعة الفرسان اللي البابي ليه عاد تزورون اسمان وراك ضرب مرق انجراك زندان وراك ضرب مرق انجراك زندان عندك النصارى اللي كلهم بولاد عندك النصارى اللي كلهم بولاد قرار علي كبر عليهم زاد قرار علي كبر عليهم زاد كيفك في نظاري فرج الطيان
Okay.
يقلع ماضي
ميتين يا علي تكبر تشيل حملي ميتين يا علي تكبر تشيل حملي إياك علي خلاك أبوي دخري إياك علي خلاك أبوي دخري للجار والعشير الكان أبوك بالدين للغني والفقير الكان أبوك حامي يسولف من العلج الحرير وكسير يسولف من العلج الحرير وكسير لا تعاين الوجوه ضربك دشر سوي سيفك في غضاري فالرجال روي جابوا لنا الكرامة وصبحنا فرحانين جابوا لنا الكرامة وصبحنا فرحانين ضربوا دنجر جون الليال مارمين ضربوا دنجر جون الليال مارمين بسأل عن علي الفارس اللي قد 90 بسأل عن علي الولد اللي قد 90 كل الدرل عليه ظهروا الخبوب والطين كل الدرل عليه ظهروا الخبوب والطين ما بياكل الضعيف وما بسولي بالمسكين إلا سيمة الأسد قبل الطجين الزول السمح فات الكبار والقدر الزول السمح فات الكبار والقدر كشافونا عبد الله كانوا يعدوا دول السمح فات الكبار والقدر كشافونا عبد الله كانوا يعدوا السبب الحمام تديك شبابي البنات في صدره تديك شبابي البنات في صدره السبب الحماني العيد هناك حضره تديك شبابي البنات في صدره تديك شبابي البنات في صدره تديك شبابي البنات في صدره
Hi, you guys dig it in? Daniel. I think we should be go.
Yeah.
I dig. So dear. All right. Dig a red, by Daniel. Din Piatangi Paul attend. Din di one a culture if you're layum. The Chen Paul because Paul in Din Kidika, okay, where the disaster with a talk in human talk or the natural disaster talk. But at the same time, we still have a lot of news in the capacity to take Kika in jail, so I get a losing song. So we quite die. I yoke of finger just told that Lucky confirm Naya cooking of shit. Booking. Give us the sum up. You can hear us properly. Quite she died telephone.
I think told what dig I love big thing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Jing Fadang Media Studio. We are coming live briefly to brief you a little bit about the natural disaster triggered by flood. And then the second topic will be followed by highlighting Ruweng historical borders and map of Ruweng administrative area and the letters that were written from Aling County will be read out on this particular program. So before I proceed, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be around the world. Since we have different time zone, that's why I have to say good afternoon in Australia, good morning in Africa, and good evening here in North America. We are based, Jing Fadang Media is based in North America, so that's why we have to say good evening. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and please go ahead and continue to share the video. Briefly, we are going to present to you on this particular program the natural disaster triggered by flood will be explained a little bit for a few minutes, and then it will be followed by historical highlighting of the Ruweng administrative area pertaining to the borders and the map. And then we will also be reading out some of the letters that were written by the Aling County. Aling County is one of the county Ruweng that is bordering the Sudan. So this is the main county that is actually bordering Sudan, and I will actually be explaining a lot of detail pertaining to the letters written by this particular county. And before we open our program, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to express our heartfelt condolences, sympathies, prayers, and thought with our family members who have lost their loved one for the last few days. And I would like to read out their names so some of you can actually be able to know who are this family and when it happened. It just happened a few days ago, so that's why we were actually taking pause for some time, including one of my cousins lost his own son in a car accident in Australia. It's a very tragic accident that took place a few days ago, this weekend. So, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to extend our heartfelt condolences to the family of. Let me read out the names, please. Stay tuned. Family of Shoni Dudi Koch, Nyanjua Yelding. These two victims lost their life in Khartoum. The circumstances in which they died is not clear to me, but I just want to share it so that we have to actually console the victim families. So these are the family of Boladao. Boladana Bengnio, I hope most of you know her. He's actually based in Australia, and some of you know Ayara. Ayar is an activist on social media, and some of you know that. She's a family member as well. She has been mourning on social media for the last few days. And both of them lost these two brother and sister in 2 consecutive days. The other one died, the other day, and then followed by the other one. And then all of a sudden, we lost one of our cousins in Australia through car accident. And they are also related as well. So this is a very tragic news to our community in entirety, Jiang Fadang as a whole. Kujela Ben Gaman ki Jiang Fanaru in particular, because she miscan in Ninjal. So I was informed command by my cousin that his son Ninjal, a car accident found Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. One thing initial thing because I was there and I have lived with him, so I know who this guy is. But then a band of jam topic the other low quan the jam team can well be in but Mr. Kai Kwan Yan Kaida and we allow one Kaida and in Jalfana Katum. A quite cake. So can I book your follow up? Book it by. Come on, I would like to attend our heartfelt condolences to the family of Honorable MP Dan the Dakota County. One thing in Jal, a queen music. But then go see so like a young for the media. A Yoko call book on an yin family member. Who there are no ninjal. The call be a yin and balago to the media the young for that. I'll go your bell well be. The king go go but I'm the new that I know black with Kupoko Charles, Queen keep their contact. Well, a kaja their communication with the family member. Take a cake or yin a shackle. In case you one or got silent, cocky jumping. Chan ki yogo ti de chu le we ko yeng fa dang ku de tong re yun ti ben family bi jiran ki lo o contact ni ere nen bulwel bi ayeni je ti ok ti di ko yeng fa dang me die ngi kun the family of honorable MP da na ko county wan yin jal ako ku bu tari ga bu ngi jene nga ku bi yeno ko ko ne die ko bu ben kwendi a chan mi ngi ko de ran ne maru ke wona an jame kre new the media kai kon ko kin jal community de fana ruje ke because yene ne men fana ru ku yene ruayo kuran one of the victim en ke chan new chan en bay ko yene ne family member too so when tin chol ding tin jal kana ke son of my cousin when malen en ade na me won tin en tin jal we en wan chal fa na Australia njere fa ande kan ye na won tin chol ding era na miskin kun ka to yang ne so ye ne kana gukta ri de jo ba kwen bi bula daw kara nan chore ku jala yar en ki to Canada ten ke ga den ni family member de den yan ken den yin jal fa na ka tu jala won ken den yan yin jal e family de jel ka yo ke ran maru ban fa na ru ke ye bandi de fa na ru ke ran di de maru ku ka pa yin jal ru wan te la twin ke ran di de maru tarik Ruweng ina de nama mi ko ken mi ko yin jal so ye ne family ne maru so cái trâu với bà có phải nó bút cái nó có lét của bút cái bên nhua cái cha bè cái nhìn giao cả và yên với chú cái lệ trên này cái bút bên làm tí cái new đà nó bút bên cho lui cái coi của nhìn giao là còn nhìn thì đấy gần có cái program này giờ một cái qua gõ lắm có cái nhà bút cái nhìn của cái giao bút cái thao phiêu phí bút cho là train para nam đàn giờ một tí cái này cái này bài to your attention cái way riêng phải đào ngân đài của chúng mình có qua ô cầu tragic condition FA thì bạn chỉ còn lòng đi tô cái lời đó và này binu beten và yên cái cái lời cho cái chút nữa yên kia tao có cần á cho lời nó coi con cả khóc à coi như em phi của tao cái way cái ra là một xu và đây ra nó tao cái family member cùng đi chơi cái nó là buồn là em phi hoàn những cái thì yên cô anh bút ra đi được bút bên quen đi anh nó cái chi phá đảng bây giờ luôn này nghe cái gì nghe cái nó luyện bị cho quen nghe cái này thà đi để quen bị wala ne background ne nyuo ba yo gopde or obituary news achira anu ne kulula kay special wada wo kana ba den ga wolba la ba gule la ngeen kër ngeen na luil lakini jiro de jor ko ben nyuo bo ka ci gulu bu luil bi si
yeah
ayo ko ma tek ku to vi man tawon ke rana ngangol wala yak ke men ngangol wala yak ta ka men fa na ru ku de ga loror wudin fa na ru kala bangi ala ba ben daw ko bien de communication na rek ko ko fa na ru the same thing mà cái nó bên gì chúng tôi nó lấy ko ko wala chinu contact ko ko wala ya kala bi ma cái kala bi ngi more than I know so cái wala ne ne because oh ka dang ko ko kai kunun kaje kudu kaje lo balagu ki men fa dang da wono to ka chira la bi lo a chira man yana wan ci jamu ko graduation wan lo red fan an ko karen Egypt Cairo mi ko fa dang ci lui graduate ke gej ci ka fiat en mi do ko yo ci loy quá chắc cái contact của là quê ngàn lối cái balak ba bên nhua cái chán nên cái đi cũng chưa lối community cái coi rất chạy dầu cái ai encourage mà này cái coi cũng thể generation năng cái bên workshop cái gì cái inspiration có cái example cái này big band nom cái role model cái piat chi lối achievement chi lối cái bên nhua cái này cái nhìn được thôi nó có cái lối kama na để cái lối cái đi cái ba cái bắt cái gì để riêng phát đảng chán bên cáiนู่cái cũng có bên cái that's a powerful of the media yen wo chaka le jan chidama ni go bla achan bu program la bu rabat ku bu la to ma tek ma ye fursa de den tin ma tin ta chale
yeah we check ke be le we ko je we kidai ten we ko dai ma dit me jak in cha Moscow ya Marta wai ding Minyel and many other people we check most wo killing lo share them và na lo ter ko wi ba ben lo ba wo join lan ba den wo be jam ka dan cho natural disaster to office South Sudan ben pa we check ke mo ban again they ma jam biluluk we ko kon ke ga jeng pa dang ja jeng ban they ma chi biluluk gen wel den an nyen ma ko chi ben la wo ka lo bi ran en ben just condolence also kachi biluluk ke luel ten kachi ke ping lakini I also yan bijame da kachi ke ping lano ade yan chi ko nok wan fan ka bo wan biag de katoria ter yan ben ge wi ko ri jai ko nok wok de nium ran tin dan ngong wala yak che kiri ai ben made zaro ka to wir condolence ne adang le ke family de yen ama chen background when will nga rin kayen ko jad na diet kayen tin choko bulu lakin
ya ta ke ka wan right ko ji ka to man na sa ke wala ya mosa
ya de mid man tin dan chen ma de ngong wala ya wani dia za to ria ko ma ni man ria gere courage ran ji de mo ko ben nok ka chen man tin dan ngong wala ya ka chen ma di up to now
video Rian wan atake Rian wan je kene gere
Rian wan yen boke ke je jai lana de ko
chati
ya kamadi ja one thing
That
dang
was a
chi
reckless.
one thing dang chi motor in yuba ya dang ai wana ngong wale ya kamana boka ge motor ke garana bude dan ge kene ko boku yubri ke na ke at the same week to so we quite ko they might chi bilu lwel kong ke dani chol kafara arabi ene lwel ino bu kai ba lwel kafara in family daran chan buk lagi nino kafara to den ke chiro loin pa wo ko e jeng fadang media leaders sonaku leader biel kun ku jayan wo bilu wo kai ke media taban kada wo ge wo just book information book yok to dun we kai wona we jeng dan fadang kana biran lu le ran dia na chi lost the life ko book bed le kai ban ino kong kafara and then condolence le family when a yende and then yen jin ma fadang yin loy recognize ke year one of the young the fadang fa na ken quran charin ke which is mean kan it all is in the family e ma yem ready ka wo ku we ku yen ka le aderan ken gu jalten ko aderan ken gu jalten it depend on the information je lagi na le chal ko according information juro lo e pandun to kalo ba go chale ya dai mai chi bilu lugen chal non tin ne no rana ko ko won tel wel kana chu ngi je detail lakin angor ka le ko le kafara ke chiro loyi ku yene about our media ten lana chu siasa ndu jam all the time ka won dal we ka we jeng fadang ko jana mo le yen che ben kana ngai che na bi wo jam tin ba din ko lakin ke dia ne yen ba yan ka jan ba bele we kafara the family chi de ko kan chi nyin jal fa na ngong dal ya ko ja ye ruwe won tai chi bile lugen chal ko ja ya malut na ku ju ke gre na ya da ko ku
Kai ka
detail
ko
ka
ka
chu
na
le
ko ka ko.
okay na ko fa yen na ya
Man
dang
ta ka to ni na le rot ka kale bi ban ni. Bi ban ta
ai
o.
rani yo ya dang ma senja de yin be bentina ya dang ko le yo ya na ma senja yin book pinga ya dang ma senja also so a good thing ya dang na chena nam time bin ben pi studio ka yin bu yo ma senja ko ma senja book pick up ko yin bu ngor ki jam telephone ko bi in pin so condolence le ran yen chi ran de yen ma ena bi wo ko book leg we ino padang kai ke we ko padang always kafara ko gam we families when they quite can chen yin jala this time ran yen the bin ben le tere ya dang ke one of the family well ba ben le tere ke one of the family ke be con Dolson Benwell it's okay we welcome you ba link ga cha lo share ten ku yin be free to call us also lano na shi link in pelbentin then you can call me I'm here to receive your call and then you be jam karangi pa biluluk alo ba la twen ko yin ba ba gam porta ba la twen ko na de rande answer ki wel tene ka aba yop abian aba lo answer ko ko je ko ren jam phone lakin marsa wai atoten maybe a time at quite a loy sabah so we not gonna take that too long ko ki zaman dira go bi jot lana wo bi lo loy sabah ka wo ki bi changa rede lakin wo bi jama kana mola rede yo na mola yen che we bor bai pan man jang te na bi wo jam tin ba din a pa ya rede wo ran ti bi lo ko border bi wo jam ya chi ayin ne most welcome to join us len ben kamol we cha ke le ban ran jam we gan ma tek tek ke len ke tin da ko jana bi lo thank you bi lo
Yeah, thank you very much, Daniel, for the wonderful insight that you have just contributed to the program. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to proceed with our program, I would like to start by apologizing to all of you for starting this program very late due to the Facebook global outage it just caused a global uproar and uncertainty, inconvenience to users and the commercial business. So this is very unfortunate. It is something to be explained by Mark Zuckerberg. We don't know what happened exactly, but we understand what is going on. Facebook has been betrayed by one of the anonymous insider who report to the lawmakers that Facebook is actually abusing the system, is causing a lot of issues to the people. Some people are actually preaching hate speech. Some people are actually abusing the Facebook to cause others harm, and that is why Facebook has been reported to the Wall Street, and then the Wall Street actually reported to the Congress of the United States. So Mark Zuckerberg himself, including some of his CEO that accompany him, have been called to the Capitol Hill to go and testify before the Congress of the United States. And the very same whistleblower, her name has been revealed. We have been watching it in the news for the last few days. And that woman actually exposed himself now. He revealed his real identity. Her real identity has been revealed. And she's going to appear before the Congress of the United States, and she will actually testify about what she reported about the Facebook. So a lot of things are going on, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why you have seen recently, Facebook has been taking people out of Facebook for some reason. Because if you violate the community standard, you can actually be blocked for some time, So some of you might be experiencing that. It is because of that, because Facebook is actually abusing the system or their product in other way around. So you need to be careful how you use Facebook these days. So thank you. I just want to let you know why the program was delayed. It's because of the Facebook outage. We lost Facebook for almost 7 to 6 hours. Even I experienced it while I was at work. I was wondering, I thought that I lost the connection. Yeah, bad. Yeah, okay now, Daniel?
Yeah, tem ko ci tem ay lakini ay ya ko ke ya. De tem al wele bang de sen that. I don't know
So I would like to proceed with the program. I hope we have to start with the historical borders and map of Ruweng administrative, and then letters from Aline County. And then after that, we will go to the topic of flood, natural disaster triggered by flood. So yes, ndekana lubata karangin ku buku tu buku. Then badak ayoki maybe na go bena nyoti. I don't know whether I have to actually read out the letters first or not. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you a highlight about this topic. Why I brought this topic to your attention is because in the recent week, you have seen a lot of commotion on social media between the Ruweng administrative area and some particular counties within the Unity State, because there are rumors that the international borders are going to be open for commercial purpose. So it is Ruweng that has the border with the Sudan. Ruweng administrative area is the one that has a border with the Sudan. However, Unity State, particularly Rukona County, claim that they have the border with the Sudan. But there's no logic behind it. So Daniel, go ahead and show me that map. The map and by ladies and gentlemen, I think you can see the map right there. That's the map of Ruweng. This map is authentic, and this map was actually drew by the colonial masters of the Sudan. It was not drawn by the people of Ruweng, nor was it actually drawn by the government of South Sudan. So this map is not fake, and you can see the map right there. You see, you can see this is one of the tribes in Ruweng. We have a Lord here, we have a Wit up there, we have Quill, and we have Riangam. That is the Pariang, that is the headquarters of Ruweng. And you have seen the You have seen the border, the international border, the Nuba, that is the southern Kordofan, and you can see a BA on the other side. So it is only Ruweng that have a border with the Sudan. Unity State as a state doesn't have any border with the Sudan. So that's why you see people of Unity State always claim that Ruweng had actually annexed their land. But that's not true. You can see that here. It's very clear.
Border Chuluk also.
I think the border, they have no border with Chiluk. Chin border, okay.
No, Quill, yeah.
I Quill in the border, so Quill chicken in the border with Chiluk. So you can look at this, can no, why not? Why not? Any law up and out, any law up and out, any law Malakal. Kay in why not? Then the pen point can talk. When a chat below all the way to correct. So kuyen oil field ka ke ka kede ni chol unity oil field ku ka to manga wan dan lwel ke yi ni ka ke oil field ke to ke go mane ku ke yen war ke lo ke but as you can see a talk within the borders Ruweng, you know, I think going to outside I see negative ke re ke can net the unity state ka ko bantu ki to blow here. So the reason why I'm trying to show you this map is because some of the counties in the northern part of Unity State are claiming that they have a border with the Sudan. Unfortunately, there is no indication whatsoever, even in the history or in the map, there is no any legitimate claim or justification or authenticity of any border that can actually attach Unity State to southern Kordofan. So let me go ahead and read the kind of by counter and biennial, then we have to proceed very quickly. So chapter 7. Ladies and gentlemen, I think last year we have been reading every chapter of this booklet, Tajing Padang, of which we have compiled all the historical narrative, historical map, and historical tale of Jiang Padang, of every section. And chapter 7 is actually concentrating on the historical narrative, historical map, and borders of Ruweng in particular. So, since we have been presenting the maps and the history and the borders of the other sub-communities of Jiang Padang, we were not able to present the borders of Ruweng. And now I'm trying to bring it to your attention because people who are claiming the land of Ruweng from Unity State are now doing a lot of commotion on social media because of the rumor that the international borders between South Sudan and the Northern Sudan are going to be open. So they are claiming that they have a border with the Sudan, which is not true. So let me go ahead and read the historical narrative of Ruweng. So borders and or boundaries of Anaru, Jien, Dinka, and Cholo. So ngaji yedi chikara ngala tilinga.
Let me think and they are my side.
Number we drop here too. So the Anglo-Egyptian administration in Sudan demarcated the boundary between Padang, Jien, Dinka, Panaru, and Cholo, Chuluk, of Tunda in 1911 during the reign of Chief Miyar Bilkwe in Panaru and King Meki Kura Yokir of Chiluk. The border of Panaru and the Chiluk Kingdom was demarcated in 1911. That's when the border was actually demarcated. And that was during the reign of these two chiefs. Chief Miyad Bilkwe was the chief by the time in Panaru, and King Meki Kura Yeke was the king of Chiluk by the time. So that's when that border between Jiang Panaru, Kujela Chiluk, when we call Bear Tong the Panaru, wal tong fa da ke chol be ya so in ke damane in ke gi wudu den a place known as Tanaki is the demarcation line between Jing Fanaru or Ruwing. Because when we say Jing Fanaru, another way, in another name for Ruwing. Chane koi koge ke ye confusion and Chuluk of Tunja is the first landmark between two tribes. So what they get any short Tanaki in ke to wudu da ko ye Jing Fanaru and Jing Ruwing from the eastern direction or eastern side of Ruwing. So both of the eastern side of the Ruwing kam the yi jing the Ruwing kege be woni ne chulu ke den cho Tanaki ku ye na ran jam we gang ye because wan ka jan we ka bor ka cha bi an ki te ke ten physical border kan ke tem ko ku di tem gen chong fa nu gen wa na de ke kwat ja mi nyu du ka tie yin je be lo fin nan kai ki na tie lo bi gen chong nu gen wa so ye nan ki te ke den cho Tanaki yan ye yen literally any team ku kai to akam da be je to ja ngiku e che kale na lo dispute che ga ke ki lu ga ngiki they don't dispute that is the demarcation line between Jeng Fanaru or Ruweng Dinka and Chiluk of Tunja and is the first landmark between the two tribes. See Halley map number 9 titled People of Southern Sudan from 1910 to 1940. As you have seen in the map we have just exhibited on the screen earlier, it's one of the historical maps that was actually demarcated or drawn by the colonial masters of the Sudan by then. So that map was drawn around 1900. And it was the British that drew this map. It was not the Shilluk, it was not the Ruweng, it was not even the people of Unity State that drew those maps. You see? So this map here that you can see on the screen is authentic, and it is something that can never be disputed by anyone. So take me back to in the reference map number 9 can it tower map in no can back. So see a type there is another map number 10 titled Tribal Map of the Southern Sudan in 1935. These are the historical maps. So if you make reference to those particular maps, you will still come to the conclusion you will actually be able to see the same authentic map that I have just exhibited on the screen. There are other natural landmarks and barriers on the border or tributary of Nile called Noctol. Noctol stream. If we call Noctol from the Ruwing. Noctol ke lang lai ke wood command kuyen ke toy. So Noctol ke one of the location that wouldn't talk a border. Okay, where with the Chiluk on the east bank and Jing Fanaru, within the Ruwing Dinka on the west bank of Noctol water street. They where them we cut the 10 on. So in case you want to look at on the eastern side, Ruwing at on the west according to the direction they rake it. So kai yoga to down o to look ya ke go kin dispute. Ama ne ke jam le ye ke un ku ko bi lo claim un ku to di inside Ruwing. I think the big lo claim. So angi ki ke look. The Anglo-Egyptian administration issued an order that recognized officially the border, and any tribe violating the border order shall be answerable to law. Actually, when he would do the key and Gidon, who they give a one bella jal, Bella law would do the Gibilla Dangin. The yin the long which a tame cow, the yin kin lay being coom alone, kit alone and quanti. Ke British in Katem, who would do the Katani. I hear bear, who I hear Ruwing. Ruwing between. So in 1953, a conflict erupted between Cholo, Chiluk and Jiang Ruwing, Dinka Panaru, and that led to killing of Ochor. Ade king nani Cholo Ochor. So Tonga Jiram Kam then Yi Chiluk, Ujala Jiang Ruwing in 1953. so tongon chere bana lo e kam de chulu kujila e ni jing ruwe ka yo king nen de chulu bi chol uchur a che ben no ge tongi the chief of chulu chief anyway it was not a king I believe so I don't know whether they use chief at the same time they use king I don't know so can I get that's what they play so the administration authorities represented by the British officer Mr. Hadley Wilson and national staff Mr. Boss Dio review the border between the two tribes. On Chitong so kam the chulu kam the bear ko jela ruwing ke ye ne na chi mon British kene any officer ayok tag dang ye ban no police or what Quran chol Dio in ke to Dio ngek by then ke ye ne mon we on ke ayok chi kwan ki governor ta pana by then when a apana province by the time when a both there ka yo ngek chi tarigi review the border
no I can't you can maybe a long time ago
a long time na lwe lai ke to tarigi ke maru ran ngek so ran kene na chi border jo ban review between the two tribes the authorities reaffirmed the border of 1911 kene na chalwe won ke gidi wudu de be ke gruwe ene gidi wudu de fana ru ke ga be so she both deal ene ye ban na fanal by the time achi ben lawyer ya firm achi ben confirm that no yen border kana talk to the makan kiti won chogen kwenti na we e tan ki ujila ke jeni chol noctol ke yen ke yaken the bear ke gi jing fana ru further with the division of the Afanal province into 9 districts the same border was maintained and recognized. Chiagaman and Chiapana came there ben tag into 9 districts. Ke border the calm the Ruweng. The get you look at the ben more get you today and I think it's your ben gay. So in 1991, after the defection of Dr. Lema Kol Ajawin from the Sudan People Liberation Movement and army, differences resurfaces and definite between Cholo of Fanyikang and Jing of Anaru or Ruwing of Arian counties on the borders. This led to the convening of a conference on the border issues in 2009 under Colonel Lang de Vilquay, then the Commissioner of Arian County, and Mr. County. Kitchen will know what I away Jing Padang, in particular the way away Jing Ruwing. Kitchen Van Loy in 1991. One Chilema called Joe Chenjo Garden 91. A Chijolari. Can a lema call in a bucket game a chackle gag of Machakel Jacob Jam could do a call into Mantona for Dang Jagdana, Ran B and gay in a lema call. Lema call in a bucket of Machakel who do the new. In case Jenny can about a buy now. I can anyone. I keep British just saw who do the Pana Roo, Kegi and a bear, Kego Tame 1911, who can British General A. Who can't think what you look go to Ben Daniel one when a cheat on man low in 1953. One cheat on low in 1953. Go by Napanal, and Mugafanal by then, when in a both deal. Both deal can run a lot go. I guess it ran, I think, taking around a guy. So in a chairman, the Canadian go to review the city one keep British. She can make it again. Get it. Go Ben Gulu your farm. The Ben Dom Gulu confirm and no do the can I thought today. But you look at Dom Gulu away. Now one job and 91 was young and die. The Lema call a jacket Ben Yog John Yang. Could lay anything that. A Kachiru and catch a pay. And take a chair confident in it. In the jam will lay anything ruin below a claim. Ke lay any true and keeping the jot. A ye leg no man, a ye clay. Who man, a looky clay. A can work by. Rambo is a Michelacane, K in a lemma call. Leg no caga to me then. K count him and you ruin. Who can go find any in your Bengalang one, finding Jalkan, who can you bring along one and talk any county commission at the party and Vanessa. So can it? en ke ku bag de ka betari ran bi ken nyal te le ma kol wan ken gat en je kuluk den bele yengam siedo en le yen pe nduna chi jeng ruwen jot pe nduna chi jeng fi je ci jot pe nduna chi jeng de ko ro ci jot pe nduna chi jeng de bali to ne ngol wala yak pe nduna chi jeng na da ko go wona ne dong jol ko malut e ka ci jot a yiranga ye wona jeng na bele ka ji ting ke bag de yin jeng fa da nga bag de nu dan boko ga mi ci la kene ban ke yene lem na ko aka che mi ci lo e lu ruwe ngato e kene agen go to we jing an ruwe ndai wala we jing fa da nga ban de hol agen ni junu we de nimji na ye british ne e map aka ke tu ku be moy nu e wan to kene ban da fa na alban wona ne bo dio ku bi ku ci ruwe go dom ku lunge ti ci te ci british che kene temti you see chulu ka ngor ki fio to nka ko chi tong loy go ruwen go ko ban ni chulu go kino e tong yi go chin bis fi tur be loy tan wan chen jo ben na de wan chi le ma ko chi nyogo jo nyal ku le ma ko go ba le we be tarik de le ma ko ke gat pariya e gat ki den chol biu le no ko ne gaden ti secondary school ka to ko den chol le no fan biu nke ge de gaden ti ko te ne ye lo kle mi ye kede ko e pin ruwen ko la gat te kwa kene e ko bangi jikene le ma kol na yiwo mi chila ko jing fa dang bana wi bangi jikene go to the next page ka yo kana ito e na ka de kana mu
conclusion yeah
before ki jing go kana okay conclusion is summary kana okay fa dang jing dinka
yeah this is the last one yeah this is in the last page to you
ai fa ka ko ne ka tui ko wanda ka ai and though the border of 1911 between the two counties communities and to maintain peaceful coexistence and I can go back to the previous page. Yeah. So kato kam man wan chiro dio belo 2009 kam den yi late colonel mi bengalang ki county commissioner de Farien ku jila Daniel Odok ken ki commissioner of Anyukan county again the conference liberty tweet again the conference
the conference indoor
again the conference the conference endorsed the border of 1911 between the two counties communities to maintain peaceful coexistence ke yen wan ti mi bengalang ke gran ti de Daniel Odok ken ye ban ne fanya ka ko mi bengalang nke taw ken ke county commissioner de Farien or Ruweng county ke ga wan ti ke jo belamat un le jame conference ni convention le loy we by the conclusion jiben ngor kala ben ke the same recommendation ko on keep british ki taw tarige e giden wudu da ni ena ngor ken ke ke bala ko ti wo conclusion lo no ke Ruweng na de namyi a chanen be ke ye loy ke lo le yen ye Ruweng lu claim ye kede so yen Daniel Odok ki ye county commissioner de fanyika a ci bena lo we ye bengalang ki ye county commissioner de Ruweng a ci ben ngor kala tiam ko la tiam di ke la tiam ko wa ni ci british ci lo authenticated because british den ke lui map en ke lui en di market en ke lui border ke tribe kene en ke lui ke en ke gi ken ni kwa ke ye ci lu lo ka ba e kene ke cho ro me ne kene en ka ke ci ton kon to bo ban nen unok ku tiam ke ku ngor ki nuwan ti jobe ben na nuwan be le ma ko le be en jan le ma ko man de mi chele jem fi man o fada le ma ko en ke si tabab ene je ci lu be fo a yi men le cha ba di de ku tari e ka ci lo doctrine ne baran chol da le ma ko bi ya lo le yen boda ka ci jeng jot ene ku lo jeng fada ko ke lo la ku le yen position da bi mi chele ka bi yen yelu ke ma kam kirman chagen go tinga tarige a chi lui lost how many times again it's quite ruin two times kurana ko lunga wo loyenga ke moy nuwe ko loy di ke loy ke chirke chi British ti determine no wan be ko ben nyuju wan tyo ke Ruweng be loy ke 2009 go ke tiam ke conclusion development ke 1911 ko British de loy ka yo ke ne ke wasa kana example ke ba ke Ruweng wo ba ke bag de junu yin padang neng de misla e wududo du e bere nen claim kene the same thing chan ko loy be man ke den ke ruo uka chi lo ro ikene ke da ko lo ma no ke lo ke wa no ko ga nu we are law abiding citizen chaman ni jo pa ni jinu Sudan ko ne to we bo kan kwan chok na ran ko en lo ka lo bang ke yo ni chama dik chi chulu ka chi lewe en ka ko chi tong chen thor kam den ko ke pa na ru u ban ne ben no ku tiam ke so I think solution di in ka ko lege man lege ni Johnson lo ngula taw dang pen ku jiem ko in ka wala solution kuna ya tong de kure na bno wala bi cha ga lenden ko tin original one den je ga tin ala bi lo de na gi godi ni yit ke le ro wa ye na chene ga jaman tin bar ke ba we ye kulu ko we jiem fa dang that no the same thing e ke lu Ruweng wanen ba ina ko bi be lu Fiji ina lu ko flu ina lu balit ina lu kogo ina lu malut ukana lu ran e kidi chole yisen bang of the Nile ina lu claim and then conclusion na kiken yani ne chene kidi bok jamret e karen ja kulwere bai ka yuga chben tam right padang gieng dinka section of awin luai toy root ngong wala yak dongjol nyel agir abliang Ruweng commit to maintain the centuries long peace, economic and social interaction with the Cholo, Chuluk Naives. This entail bilateral recognition and adherence to the history, geography, and administrative unit pertinent to the two tribes, Chuluk and Dinka. Attempt to grab land from the Jiang Dinka has shown in the agitation and media campaign by the Cholo intellectual and Cholo tribal militia led by Lema Kola Jawin and Johnson Ulun should be discouraged. Media propaganda to misinform the public, particularly the outsiders, locally, regionally, and internationally, and militia subversive operation will never deter or intimidate Fadang Jiang into submission or giving away its land and silver plate to intruders. Any dispute, be it land or others, between the two communities or tribes need to be settled by the usual way they use to address similar first dispute through dialogue. Not the use of tribal political parties propaganda machinery, as it is case with Dr. Lema Kola Jawin tribal party. Peaceful settlement of the issue of the borders between Fadang Jiang and Cholo Kingdom need to follow a logical course in Fadang Jiang view as outlined. Yen appointment ma jo geri tong Jiang a little bit ko ba ka ken peace agreement ka ba ka jo ben ko we ba ka yo the whole book or booklet kene en chi Jiang Fadang confile ken yesterday ken research ko ka chi loy ke in form of summary yani was a note but then the detail ka talk but then boom gane ne chi read van Fadang chi en summarize so conclusion is very clear yan ke ye chi lu loy man chi man chagen ting tin ke lo le ye chi ga ko chi pi ake ko bi kre nga lo pe le nyin ran chi pi ake yo nu Fadang lo la ka brum aka lo la ka ba got akwa bu ke la mon ni akwa lo la ka lo siezi acha na chena lo siezi aka Fadang bu tiam you see or aka be tem ka lo le ye ka be tem ke den chole propaganda wo pe aka bi Fadang abi yin abi de abu bole ye you see acha ni ki tem lakin Fadang has been monitoring them all this time in ke gade bungu ka uja ko da to uja ko biye de man wan jogo media dan lepso ina ci chulu ken nyong ñu bay chen lakini ti dirwan ki fadang wa jam media ki kale ga law ni na wa ja ko ben media ji mane ka chulu ko ben ti yaw fin number ke wa
Ma
ti jam a chane ni
ma
go
yen
le fadang na
ma
e ko jam ti
ma yen you guys jo got en and will lama kola ja win the tribal parties party so ran bene clear ya la tu ngene ka ba ben ten la tu.
yeah ye ke ne clear ye na lo main point very interesting the way he summarize it. So number one, a comprehensive peace agreement. One saying Dodan one time 2005. Comprehensive peace agreement of 2005 recognized and maintained the borders among administrative units in South Sudan as of January 1st, 1956. This is the foundation of the constitutional making in South Sudan in the CFA era and the independent South Sudan on 9 July 2011. So kichi luwa ga tudun elwe do dan wan tan ku 2005. Ke jamla kulele yene border buta junu Sudan atawki de den chite gon yogu Sudan yogu independent in 1956 January 1956 wan yigi yenam lawde en fa Sudan ban ke wudu ken ke akin ke gen so wudur ken ayeke recognize ko yeke maintain the chirman wan ki briti ken ke wane wene mini ngunu wo ko fadanga chini chuloge ko ye chulo le mane kula jingu fadang e kay wududo chuloge ni achin wududo chuge ni ke mane me ko yudu ne ke me wan ki briti ka tur ko wen ke ga wene wan gi den wudur ko ke bilato. Number 2, the Constitution of former Afan State 2006 Article 1 name for colonial district.
Wrong.
The constitution, the former Afan state, that 2006, one major group, thing would one major in Afanal, ke one keep your sign, sorry, 2006, the constitution one you ben got Afanal state in Jawa cinema in Daniel.
Yeah.
The constitution, the any Jamalio, Kulili any 4 colonial district. 4 colonial district, ake yinga. Kena tawo ranking, atawo kodok, atawo malakal nke so bat yede de ukatawo eastern nuer wonen nata keke for this week atawo kaka among the go folk digital greater afana la the region kede namna ni
ai ma yen bilo look ma ke for this ke for colonial ke to no ko la ki lama ko la lui ke dinal yima na malakal so bat
okay ke jafing ni mane te go contradicta achanen ko lo ki mane tichiri ni ku yen already man nge jene nan bili ke den ke ruombet achin yi tawo kai kwene na tarik ketide kwene na bi ketide ke ruom le lo in broad daylight ya jamana ikle na dai lo ilikan so e for this week ke den ye kre chulugin Daniel we ko dai ke kodok inte ke den ke kilu kisu den de tok ba na le ban rang ga nge ki ke fi ne ni jin ra le na jola re tun ga warwan jen to ke Madina le ndi ke ko jal inte junubin ko re te na le ban malakal inke to barka ku to barka ni ko je ni men ke dong jol kulwala yak chira nan faita ti e ke jo ban ti di mane una e no ke wana ke ban cheng malakal chan malakal ke ni provincial headquarter de kidi di chola fa na la ba ayi yen jong le da ke tawandare yen biden nater ene jala kare no de ladjo ban madanam de achin ke marke ke to bat kale ke na taran ke den aman wani cha ke lu man ka ko bi to ga chwa ga ke le e mala ka ke dang ne ne ake ke chulu lo be gap e kene ke ruom le loy be sieda en nya kama be na wi loy be language ya ke de wo jing fa dan ko le kene ke kalam fari ku politic jam kin ke to tin ke entertain ki man ke de ko be alo le aka bi lo fe le ni siedi en bi fa dan ru oh ni ci yen bloy siedi bloy ka lo ka bloy riel ke riel man ngani jo lo ni yen e siedi bulew en wala yer yel man do nga ka yego chama di bloy din padang e kene ka kere biak ke jam gulel de colonial apanal province had 9 districts as of January 1st 1956 and must be used to settle any misunderstanding on the district border. Attempt to fix for determining timeline different from 1956 as done by the other tribe men and party men of Lema Kola Jawin will never bring peace and harmony but suffering and desolation. Taking again, a clinical summary lo jing for that. A jing for down with a le colonial map. But half an hour problem, man, near again with Gunubin. Can it all 9 districts? 9 districts among the 9 districts. Take your rank, take a jing. Take also but when a malakal, take a jing. Elang up an alakan. So, if you look at your banana, man, in malakal, and work claim with the Yakade. Because the eastern side of the eastern bank, but take a jing. Kukodok, in the Akaden Kilu. Kukodok at our western bank. In the Akaden. Okachu Queen Betari, one, the Chuluku, a very long eastern bank of the Nile. Take a bank to Kokwa. Take the Abaco, land one, take the Majim, and did a Chua king did. Take the land called Ben Louis Madine. Take the land you won't go to the Jing log Jing, Kadeka Champi. Can Jing the Echo one because Jinga Pur, could Jing a mayor. I want Chen and I tell you one go to Jing Banadam, you can meet it. I can't go around and I knew you found in Yande. Jenaka one, if you look at the other. One thing in your venpel, you got a low Kagalo in Gamadine. You get a Yulu, you get a cadam to you. Get a chicken job and fugitive. Would that in Yin fell? A fellow in it? If you want Tira and Adam with the generation, they could be taken. Get the Malakal. Could you can run? You can Malu, you can feed. A cannon that you can Yin Mariana, Yana, the Areg, lower claim a ye dolly. A Kaka one get out at one get all a missionary. In Kakawan and think again school, you can get it. Could Jing and Kakawan and get them? Can Jing get up then a fool who may wing it? In the end, you'll call to run and a 2 1 no gets a look. Qua Kaluela chicken, take a big chicken. Chichu and Pinda and lower clay. Quacken, he is Jing for the recommendation. I can will. Actually, a comprehensive peace agreement. They called you would do that 1956. Who can get them a call back get what I can. Quite an action over Damaganu. When I again have men what met Quebec. No, then about the constitution one you got up and now and say the 2006 one. I know the Louis 1956 net. Get you look a copy. Now, they know the Yanaka colonial up and now problem. You want to get 9 this week, take a talk. I work at the upper end too. I teach you look at you. Take a land to your make up and get your buy, Mabland, your local tour, the lower, get the young Laconala and things are needed. When a national archive have British one day document, he told Sudan and Yentity, I tell you. They can get a low unity state to again, it's quite ruined. Why a local train, Italy.
I then you know I think I'll be a last one can service okay.
Okay, yeah, let's look at the references or now references a level for like yeah, okay, actually historically many authors address Sudan pre and post colonial era with different views and approach. Such authors provided valuable information in detailing the resident of each ethnic group. For example, or e.g. Cholo, Chuluk, Jien, Dinka, and Nuer. So according to those authors, they have written so many books examining the historical, tribal location of all these tribes in Greater Afanal province or region. They actually locate all the tribes according to the indigenous territories. The following book and map document the location of Jien and Cholo throughout the recorded history. So references Kaka Tauten, Ranichol Phi M. Hall, I think got the book in his book entitled Modern History of the Sudan. These are the books you need to make references to. And these books are not lying because these are Kawajat. These authors are Kawajat. Because you got a book, because you got a tour, okay? That's Kawajat. ku ke de ne ku en ban ke e jing padang e favor ku favor ngin ni na ya gi ga mus effect and truth a chin gi ti anti e nyuo do ku jing padang ku nyu ji ka wajar ku jo ku le ye na ku ke ka wajar kwam ku yene ye ga ven wala man ke ga ki len mi ya di jet ku le ye na kir mi ya di de ka lu jing padang ga lu favor a chin ku lu ki o favor because ki ken da na lu follow kan a chin den fa ye na bi ki la gol cho ku ki ku le ben ga sie de len ben ga yen ku le ye ka tawlo ko tawlo ka chi vi jing padang ga me a chan ga gi go na lu yo en ne le to go na le bo ta aran bi na lo fake ne kan a chi ro lo ran cho Douglas Johnson ngor ga fi ke one of the author ke go author ta Africa ran cho Douglas Johnson I got a book a chi bo ke go ke di 3 we bo ke ban ke jing padang ke favor according to tribal map well of tribal narrative historical narrative ku jela map ban a chanin ke historian beta all Sudan ran cho Douglas Johnson in ke historian beta all Sudan a chira nan kai ka waje dan kai le ba kwa ngor ku fi ni ran ku ke lu interact we gana yi en fe lang ni merge kwa yen ko jing padang o ke ko ye gol ko to o ke jam le ko ke chak kan a chano ko ye jing we believe nu ba luet ba chak ku ba ka ran nan ko bunum ruom ke ro bana do gin ke ye goj ko goj ken ke ro bana lo ke ye kas ke yin ben je ka chien kwa ken a chedi wo jing yen a yugo ken ke wata ye so ka ke references ka ke reference books when back la queen so bo ka jikit bo kiran ke kiran cho le hol ti got ko de bo ko ki ai fa le cha ke ve queen di te la ke ne
I to tin yin to tin la ba ku internet dan je the 3 southern tribe will appear fairly. So what they get you got in about you look,
oh yeah I think okay
they should look they are
3,000 tribes will appear fairly frequently in the following phase. Chuluk now occupy comparatively small area on the western bank of the White Nile. But formerly, their range was much more extensive. As late as the mid-1990th century, their northern limit was the island of Aba, 30 years later to be the cradle of the Mahdi. See attack. Ke jemen tin ke te re chuluk tinon to long to no ene lang ene luil ken.
West Bank.
So area kana to far north de ne ke why na kwan kon nyal to lo ke de ne ke chol magain nowadays.
Again, yeah.
Maybe to magain ngam twin. Chan magain ke de le kin room jur. Mo. So yen ke luil ke joji tanan lakini chik la jal te. Kwa chuluk ke glen re ke de bi pi de bena digen ken latin. Inke julene ke a chepur ke debne ke debre juwanen ke won ni juke ka chi ke ma job ayen ka ko wana gen ting ban ke mede madina jiban quran ti lo madina wa ndi ke ya ke haus nigros ko chi lo madina ke ti noel mal ko me
Negros
ran ke ko wa ji akadem ke ka wajat ko yen ke ro lo wa ne akadem ke juru ka ko wana gen ting chulu ke ti jiban ke yile ma ko rojo ngo ma kan ko jolo jinga ke ko dolan kan a cara la boron ngo me daman ko le yan je ke jing la din wa na nge chuo jing ba a chen noron le jing padang ne lui ti chilo madina yuwa kini no hom gi ran tin tio te luelen ga ruwen wa in ka ka gen tin wa ka ju ki fit lakin jing apal nam nin ki ran ga tu kwan ga de le o ku la ka du pa ni jing ayi ben wa biar ka cha bi men lo badaw te ki jur ki jin wen na pe ni ka yo ngi jing na ki ben to in ke lo ro da biye wa ri ga biye go biye go la ju in ke riye ga tun mi yadi in ke riye ga ruwen in ke riye ga greta madinga wi when ke riye ga blia you see ko wa to du de ni ka na loel in particular example nja loel ya kulang na jong le wan ki chu ke yo wan e wan ni chila de be woni ne mi chile den murule chen di da fay ko murule ga na ke ko le yen ga de te dang la bai ko wan chi murule ke ya ma jur ni wan chi ko ja lang dang go le yen ga de te dang la bai ne do ma na nya nya ko jo do en ke do ma do ka ruwen ka de ko wana ga jo ting chol kor yom ke ngwedi le ne pe ju de chin te fe ju wen ruwen ka ruwen me ke wen di da fay ba de no chi jut jo le ben ko ke thor dange ko ke thor tong he na wan le ben den ki ja ko ya mo go ke chin a chi be ko le kut ko chi be thor ko tong ria go ko wen kwe ko jo le we ko wan ga na na nya nya go jo le yen ga de te den la ba ki a ye na loku te wan je ngwet yen ben ka ki ja ki de ko yo ma na ka tin ka ena an ke jur jo ta kin wan go ra ni ye wen ni jur la e wa ni ye wen din ka la pe e le ngwedi do na jo yok ko to wun we ka cha be ti ko jo le ta ran di wen ni jing jo jot ma kin ji kra ji go yo chi go yo nge ke lo ka ari wa ri gen nyel wala ge nya ku ri ku mi yadi ri ga bi ku ri ruwen ku bi ku je jing na to ne je martin ko wan ja kai rai pyo ka je kai ke we e man na tin ne man tin de kai ku ni to chiel nga man chi na du dan kai ni ki ra ne ni ga ra no ge tin ge je ran nga chi man ga tin man go real ku je la ye ne to ku ja ka da na le ke se de kai ro no ki ko chi na du dan kai ki ni cái yuk bớt cái đàn cái yuk theo cái lo mình cá đủ rồi thì và đâu có cái vấn đề thấu đủ rồi nhỉ à chỉ là đủ chụp về nhỉ à đủ ju ok thôi cái những cái đàn nó thấu là có lẽ vấn đề junuvi này jiren quá à chú cái luôn chứ mà nó chú có kilo bút giảm mà cái chú lúc hoặc bút giảm mà cái nó thì có cái thôi tròn cái hoàn bà đấy trên này cái đi điều cái cái đi à yên trả lời đàn vậy cái yuk cái này tôi cái bật cái lấy cái cái quen biết với chú cái nghề cho phải đại ayo ko lo wana wa man
yeah da manda
so de den ma tin ten kala balo
da manda lo ayen kana mo la ne wi ba nyoko to lo ne repeating it been letters ka ko queen taban ke ko padang wen leaders ka padang to ge na ka chi lui planning can big the kanichol fundraise big loy this Saturday o na ci pa this Saturday also ka che mi kala lakini ka covid fundraise again big loy abada mo lana wo panal to tweeten mo la jepin tiong already even na ma si aliwi ka bode cha de le jwan bod riano ne ger kana ger le ya ko ya ka suffering already so Saturday kana we been live na ci pa also and then we book job leg we genga we dai ko loba ko je lano historical ka chuk chalbi they ma chi wo ken ri kwen wo bilu ko I believe wo ki ko bok changare ri bordo pa yin bilu letter kaga de tioke ka yin bela kano da manda wo ke bulo ke dire ko Saturday or another day adangabla Saturday we will be alive again to den ke chiro tem
abu ko de ki kran chanen tong da jiren ko bi jo ba rom mane kru du da nyin a chana de ga de lete go ge jinu mi ko bi special guest ko kana ben present ko ka chen not only that ki bi chol ko lu ka ke entertain kwa chan solution bi dai ben ke la de ke confront ko ke
ai ma
ke lo ko ge propaganda fa lo ki
ai cái tàu này bị lúc
a che di
ai cái tàu này bị lúc taban ne lama kol ka cha ping ke propaganda de ye na wana ping yu lo nyo ko be ban go ka la juba asa enen padang ku jana yen chulu ka be bel alwel chulu ko mana wi ke ding ni ping ke padang jana dal enen ke be enen wudud big queen
en ke ko wana ko le ke ka en ke only way na tin way out
yeah so I can way out there e wo big day I war between ke ku jana yen padang la no lo nka be mana kulanya be yen killer den zato be yen killer den ta
ogo bana chan bu padang men jam na maye achane
enen chulu depending padang din ni pe lele
ka wam bade na wuj bu ko ko padang men lu wuj bi ko dom bade ne kana wuj bo ko jam ni ko to ko ye jazin te le chulu to len ben jubo
yeah so yen kana yenin bi lu dai ma chi ko jen chi nen kwen be yu ko ko na we dai ban na cha ping ban la na kam ye wo border problem e ko la we ko je we ping e la ma kol ku ye la ma kol ka ke bi ku kai tin ku kai bi kai tin Allah korotum alu interview we nin ka kin chang ko le yan an chide ko la juba kulo wallahi chan bala juba kede mafi lakin finally go ka la juba fa
No,
border
kan
ken
chi real na take ka chin solution ka den ga trend da pe. That's the way I
you
imagine.
got chang ka ping man la ma ko le yen tribal party the border yen go la border ken chok fa yen e kar kalatan ko kar kalatan ne la ma ko lakin we will get him later on abung dom ko abadom ko dang pe padang la ne yen ke ko ji chuluk ko yen ke padang ke chuluk ne la ma ko lakin chuluk ka je ka chat nyal den ko le wala nya ba piat wala nya ba bai dom ma chen pan dom wala nyen ata mana chip jo be tim mana padang ke yen nen chuluk ka le ke wo be nyu pin ku conference abe loy man even Salva Kiir ma yadi da be abi loy attend any conference big loy padang which I will be there, and then we will tell Leonard there is no way we can have another conference at this time. There is no conference. Even Salva Kiir ma yadi again loy council. We don't have no conference with them.
I
So
think conference nge ke lo ka ko la kana bu ga me chanen bu fa da ngu yin no strategy e ke bi ke nim ti chana la chuluk ban ku le lo le yen ka de ke lu for ke dialogue da ne chiro kon wi ke da no ku le ko la gie ti ma ka ma bes ma ka mo na solution a chana e ke be lo dialogue ken ke political strategy de ne ke use try political way in ke only way chana na ngi nu fa da ngam la lu compromise ko de bi ki la lu compromise ko bu ke yeg into then wiki ko ke ne ko la no I think ke chol compromise in this kada ka da ko ye ko la ne ngi ke de jing ke fin jing fa da ki yine jo ba re ke junu bi bes lakin du no la ye ne de ka ban jo lu compromise ka fin di ke na chira du ke tie da raji ke ne ke ni tingi ke ko be ke lu ni chi jo lu compromise ke ja ko be ben chen tok ba de ke ka be dang pe be ben nyo ke chak you
no
should
man,
learn from the two ko ne ke Ruweng gana
no
one
my
security ni ke in 1991 ko bi kan ba lo 1963
I make la ke bele look padang I chike pool lana beka loy pool lula la woko book dog chiang dan there chiang is already is get worse already yani chiang dan one there here work is get worse already so there is no way out so work chibre go piet we cannot fight each other lekin you have to have your own police that's it lekin chan be job lula okay bo loy ku yi war o ma kide o chunu da now kaga liu ki I believe abi padang and understand lana blind pool bi ulan loy kana belena ben and in bilulu e blind pool na bi ben loy ba government ben ngor ka met ku le yan yan an ben ku ka ki ka nya ka yoga kai ku ka ta pada kuma we am go ko ye ten ka gala kuma e bi luel badin ku le kuma is okay lakin is okay da e na bi
no it's strategy talking in Daniel according to kaka military the cheating again so far it's strategy talking ke chuluki ke ko bi ro lo la ke ko wona musuli ne malaysia den ke ko bi ban juba bu ke ban lo dum fi hukuma bu ke integrate lakin malaysia den ban big disband ke bi lo pin ban ku le ke hele ben ken ko le na ta ke len ke to ke ni me ro chol ban bo te ke ku le ene chin jan men to ke ko le ne bi ke lu ku ka chik malaysia den lo pin ku ngore ke tong ne we jan ne alba di so ke no ko le ene ka te ka to pin ki wi fo le ko wa no jam condition ka ku le ye na ko ye bu lo bi ban jubo ke la de mi jangi den wanje fio ban ki ke 20 something thousand a kira an ki yikin da yi dot yi yikin da ke la de mi ke de la big account for e ko ke ki ga no de in ke kan ne le ye na pada nga bu do me kan
kana ba ben badin kana ben badin abi
e
abi
jam ko
ngi ya kuma ben badin lakin ke dia yen jamana biag de yen meeting den lo ko biga conference lo ke padang to fi juba pa yen conference kana e ma fruit bi ko ya careful lano I don't see anything lo be lo negotiate between chulu ko ja yen dinga lano to afana lano yen is already rana nyut de yen de nim commissioner din ko work de nim commissioner da wo ko governor rate is okay le ngodem be lo negotiate
engagement strategy kan engagement strategy ke to ne we bi pada ngam ni ko lo ki o lo dialogue check in for the convention okay but man bi ko jo lo ko jo lo pada ngo be ni ga jam media ku bu ke ba ye ga idea ye ku tingen ge brainstorming ya ku bu ke ye strategy bi town play go taw ke de confidential document and tick drop ya na la chulu kule showed that convention it could be gamen kien it can make a book your well lom behind the door but then ku yokun wa chene solution ka book lo le o bu lo condition da ko condition da ne bu classify ka man na lo convention ni ke one way bo ro engage ke bu ke chala ni ten ku lo rioge lo condition ga am
big la ben be je control ni
bu le ke ku le we na ra bu jagi go e ma come on the solution e che kir mi yari di ko che yinga because they are really in from day one strategy that
Michael Azado
strategy kana
no Michael Azado Michael Ashiki gam zado bi loy sol belano the land kana a che ko ran president wala ko nga Ashiki gam lano e judge na yena ko re la ki lama ko le che intro the judge lana kana lama ko le just beginning a new one system de yena ka chi judge bela lo approve ma yena Michael
ma ken ke jinu bin ko bin ngi kadi ke ye ko ti ka wa ne to ala ko ti ko le yin kilu ngon ja chi ko bela ma ka mi ko fada che ke ran ne goji kan
ma ran bela lo ma bela lo
ran ne goji
yeah
yen o ko jiten de ke wi ba ko ne ke de statement ran go ne wi lo jobo ko de kilo le yin do you know Malakal guys or you are blindfolded bleeding padang e Malakal ngone be lo ko Malakal in ke so bat district ke Malakal in ke district ko district Malakal kene ke fa len ko ka ko ku jala ko ka bali
no yen no bele look yena ran
chi mu ba ti man
yena ran chiro chagale John kwal kana yena ku Malakal no yena ku Malakal lano he don't know what is Malakal ko jamo ran chi den man jamana tene man ku joyati yele what is Malakal ku jala gi no le my year chana ka to somewhere else year chana ka to Malakal ko more so yena chiran ngi Malakal zado ya ka jo lele misleading padang blindfold do you know Malakal Malakal bera ne jo ku je de ku yini ja die Malakal ba jo ku kef yena de tie ya lola ku Malakal zado he don't even know what he talking chol Malakal chuluk makal chuluk lakin Malakal kan be jo ku je de ko ra ne ja die no yeah special me ya ja die no where I was born ma era la quite ni bele look chulu ke kata online ka ke e ko tin Facebook ku yinta wa America ku yinta no ke lele yin dia America ga lekin Malakal jam wo we don't talk about the name of Malakal we talk the land you born there rani ya
ku jo ka la wodi te
to chulu gen jo en jam ma ni ngat to chulu ten non bi lele non cha ba kwen en to chulu da ne yit ni yen chulu I think is a fake that I che chulu asele so era supporter that
chulu gane ne chulu ga karan kere lo ero chagre ni
to gen no ere
ne ba na da ya ne di
mo no ere ne a chera ande ko ngi pal yo ka pal ye na ku Malakal taban
al me ne na ko ji ten tu
to dia da karang ye ten to wan ko ye tari la ma ko le dia da ka ko ma la ma ko wan ai family de le ran ka ko ma pa na yi ayi ge man wala jawi ne le ka gari no ma ka gari ka ko ma te ne bero belo ngi Malakal ma ka ko ma en tawon tin wala chola di Nairobi Kenya man to Emmanuel jawin tin ni len ben ke ran chiro le ke ambassador wala ngadi ko ma ke
ne bi ne ali wan kwa nyin ke foreign minister wan
ay lama ko le bi ni ale wan ro bo pu de ko loy party de yen ma ke ga chi a chi ro pie ke ga ko le yen ke de ni chol tribal party ken ma yen a be ben ke tribal party too kai yen elwele nga ku history de nga lama ko ngi history yen nga ngi history yen ani chol John Kwal kan he don't even know what he talking about so pa we ko kon ka yeng fa dang we dai te na ben we chu ke mo da re bi lu letter kan ba lo ke
letter ka ba ke queen
ko book ro we then we gotta get the hell out here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to present to you the letters that were drafted and published, and again is the lay community. Again, the Rubicon County of Unity State, because Unity State have been very dramatic. They caused a lot of commotion on social media for the last few weeks or for the last month, because they had rumors about the opening of the international borders between the South Sudan and the Sudan. So what a Unity State claiming, particularly the Rubicon County, is claiming that they are the one that have the borders with the Sudan. and that it is not Ruweng that had the border. Even the Bull County, Mayom County, is also claiming that they have the international borders with the Sudan, not Ruweng. So that's why we have been exhibiting or showing you the map on the screen, demonstrating to you very clearly that it is Ruweng map that has the border with the Sudan. No Unity State County as a border with the Sudan. It is only Ruweng that is an access to the northern Sudan. So for the last few weeks or last month, Rukana County particularly has been publishing a lot of letters claiming that Ruweng cannot officiate the opening of the border. So they went ahead and wrote so many letters. So they were responded. They were responded by the county of one of the county of Ruweng administrative area, Aling County. That is the Fantao County. These are the indigenous people of that area. So their community association they use, and the community wrote a letter. So this letter was written by the youth association. The heading goes like this: Aling Youth Association in Juba, South Sudan. It was written on 17 September 2021. It was addressed to the Republic of South Sudan, Ruweng administrative area, an instant press release. Respond to lay community and Lem Tungwar Palacios Facebook statement on ownership of Anakwaj, Yedin, and Darabin. So we write in our capacity as a Link Youth Association of Ruweng administrative area in Juba, South Sudan, and respond to the baseless claim by the lay community of Unity State that Anakwaj belong to lay. As native inhabitant of Anakwaj, Nyading, Lalop, and Darabin Unity oil field, we were utterly shocked by such utter falsehood propagated by individuals led by one notorious and divisive Lem Tungwar to the effect that Fanakwaj at the northwest of Ruweng is their land. Lam and his late followers want to further their political career by advancing fallacious claims that are inconsistent with historical record known to both the Link, Kwok, and Lake communities. We, the people of Ruweng community in general, and other Link communities specifically, have substantial evidence to prove our ownership of Anakwaj, Medin, Lalop, and Darabin Unity oil field, and readily, willingly, and able to challenge anyone with an adverse claim on our native territory. We understand that some international institutions have long been misled by false and misguided claims and all kinds of falsified publications that are produced by some individuals in Unity State for propaganda purposes. Yet even our own neighbors in Northwest and North know that Nuer of Unity State have never had borders with Northern Sudan. Panakwaj, Medin, Lalop, Darbim, Unity oil field are a part and parcel of the land of the core community of Aling County, Ruweng administrative area. The area has been inhabited by different sections of Kuok, Shibdom, Adongluch, Kuot, and Pawai since time immemorial until they were forcefully evicted and displaced following the discovery of oil in the 1970s by various Khartoum regimes along with the allied militia that unleashed Scotched has policy campaign from 1980s to the 2000s. The aim of such mass civilian displacement was to willfully depopulate the entire area in current Ruweng administrative area with a view to enabling oil companies to explore and extract oil. While the people of then Ruweng state before made an administrative area have submitted numerous petitions to the office of the president and the resolution was made by the highest authority to relocate the 4 areas of Anakwach, Lalok, Darbim, and Wanadanwil, Manga, where the 2 governors of Ruweng and Northern Liege State were informed to take the administration up official from the 4 areas. Only Ruweng governor complied with the order of the president. This was a mistake not only because it is unreasonable to ask community to vacate land, it is also unreasonable in the sense that only Ruweng areas were being subject for vacation. A reasonable order would have made sure that the entire region, including Rupkona, was vacated as well. But only areas of Ruweng were subject of the presidential directive. For this reason, we thought the order was imbalance from its very inception. Again, the Ruweng community generally, and a Link community specifically, is ready to prove and justify the area claimed by our brothers and neighbors from Nuer falsely. We are surprised to see individuals from section of Lake community who are not bordering core community taking lead in propagating this falsehood, claiming Quok ancestral land. In order to settle the issue of borders, we desire not the involvement of busybodies and violent mongers, but only reputable people of the 2 communities of Lake of Unity State and Quok community of Aling, Ruweng administrative area, who have lived side by side for centuries to sit on the table. Our 2 communities know where their borders lies. Individuals like Lem Tungwar, whose father and homeland located in south of Rupkana, cannot have first information about the borders between Lake and Quok. Lem Tungwar continue incitement. Honorable Lem Tungwar, who is currently a state minister in the Unity State government, and double the chairman of Lake Community Association, has been visibly preaching hatred and violence for years, having often uttered a statement that served to incite and mobilize his community of Lake against his core community of Ruweng under the pretext of land claim. Yet, being a government official serving in his state government, Lam should treat with extra caution on inter-communal issues. His rhetorical writing on social media are meant to incite violence between neighboring communities. It stands to reason that in the event of violence anytime in the future between the 2 communities, such conflict will logically be attributed to the propagation of falsehood and should therefore be held accountable for it. Before hell break loose, the Aling community called upon the government of the Republic of South Sudan to launch a criminal investigation into Lem depletous behaviors, especially as regard to his involvement in inciting violence between the 2 communities, Lake and Quok, Aling of Ruweng. Signed by the chairman of Aling Youth Association in Juba on 17 September 2021. Also signed by the Secretary General of the Youth of Aling County. That was the letter published by the Aling Youth Association in Juba, but we also have another letter by Ruweng University and College Student Association in Kenya, wrote their own condemnation as well. So I would like to read it to you as well, the final letter. Ruweng University Student Union in Kenya, subject responding to lay community in Egypt and Kenya. The Ruweng University Union is hereby condemning the above letters written by the lay community in both Egypt and Kenya. In our response, we don't need to beat around the wilderness rather than feeding the public with a detailed pack. And for your information, you, the chairperson of the lake community, have no clue about the land borders based on what you have written in that letter. All we have seen here is almost a war indirectly. The issue of land between us, you need a serious devotion, and God shall only tell us who is living in who. Because how many times have you guys raised this agenda you defeated in the court? On 15 May 2019, when Governor Lauren Mibongo was appointed as the governor of the defunct Ruweng state by His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit, after 15 days before his departure to the state, the issue of beating and harassment of executive director in Fanakwaj border, Mr. Thomas Bis, by the army, came up outstanding to the security report in the office of the president, where President authorized Honorable Kwal Manyang, former Minister of Defense, to call the two governors, both Bantu and Ruweng, and pass his directive of conserving security in both states. Governor took that as a good chance to raise all issues, particularly areas occupied. Panakwaj Nyading, known as La Lof in Arabic names, and Wanda Danwil before meeting with the Kwal Manyang. Governor Nyabok near some elders, official, former, and active, to have detailed facts. As well, this is a messy article. I cannot read it. I think what I measure it. So in the day meeting with the Honorable Kwal Manyang, Governor Mibok was accompanied by Honorable Benjamin Jang Dao and our lovely late Honorable Mibeng Lang Nyeding, Bill Quay, and Gerald Mayik Misha. And on the other hand, Governor Mantuil came alone in the meeting to correct it when it was wrong. The meeting was held where Honorable Kwal enacted condemnation of the president to horrible management to the executive director and his command maintaining security. In that meeting, Governor Mibok lifted the issue of occupied areas by Northern Liege. Montreal, in his reply, denied the claim. Honorable Kwal was just listening. Governor Mibok went on with a question as to why Montreal delivered Panakwaj to Commissioner Moinlang Nyil in 2015 after SPLA shared away IO forces. On this juncture, Kwal asked Montreal, is it true? In his reply, the answer was yes, and confessed that Panakwaj, Nadine Wandadalil, known as Manga, belonged to Almighty Ruweng Panaru. Kwal led them to the operation room to find out where these areas are on the map. Kwal was terrified totally. They referred the meeting again, and Kwal said that since the vice president, Taban Dengai, is involved, he will return the lawsuit to the president. When they convened president, Governor Montreal had nothing to say before the president. Governor Nyabok presented documents to demonstrate ownership Ruweng to this area. The meeting culminated with the directive of President to Governor Mibo to put forward his case to the Council of the State to convene the concerned authorities. Later, he submit the inclusive complaint to the Council of the State, and the state did it function immediately by referring to the issue of that illicit act to the President as the right authority to account for government will is creating of 2 counties in Ruweng territory to legalize the occupation. Our sisterly compatriot, enough is enough. We, the people of Ruweng, equivalent a deaf ear to your claim, killing innocent and invading coral daily. Kindly stay out on our toes if you don't want us to dissemble negatively. Not because we don't know how to allege other people's land, killing and overrunning cattle, but we want peace to be in South Sudan, and for us to go ahead peacefully, be in your territory and leave us in peace. The Ruweng people are never voracious. That's why they never attempt to come to your place to kill and raid cattle. If you guys, however, claim what former and active governor Yabok and Montreal had agreed in 2009, then you are allowed to open your case in court instead of being public blindfold. On the other hand, Honorable Simon Mujong, the National Minister of the Road in South Sudan, didn't say anything bad since we have rectified through his article written to Honorable Chief Peter Mujong. Danny Chokwe. Otherwise, take the time to have understood it well and do the force. Once again, take out your tongues on a mighty area. Written by the Secretary of the Union, Bayin Dao, signed by the President of the Union, Bin Lang Dao, confirmed by the members. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was reading the letter anyway, but I think this letter is not well written. So they have a lot of errors in it grammatically. That's why you see me stumbling over and over. So I apologize for that inconvenience and forgive me. This was not my own handwriting. This is not my writing. So this is it. I think the program should come to an end, and see you next time. I think this is not going to be the end of this program or argument pertaining to the borders. So in this month, that's when the international border between South Sudan and the Sudan is going to be open for commercial purposes. That means there is going to be a free movement of the traders or merchants. They are going to move freely between Sudan and the South Sudan. So Tajirin in Sudan, they will be able to go to Sudan to sell any of their commodities or merchandise they will be selling to Sudan. And then the Sudanese traders will also be coming to South Sudan free, and they will be selling their commodities or merchandise. So that is the meaning of opening the borders, so that there is a free movement of our citizens of the sisterly countries. So that's what it is. So this is when the idea of the borders came into a political commotion. So the people of Unity State raised the question that they want to claim they are the one that have the border with the Northern Sudan. So Ruweng is actually trying to refute that. We are trying to deflect the claim over the international borders. None of the territory of the Unity State, in particular, does not have any border, does not have any international border with the Sudan. Even the Sudanese themselves, they know this. Because Ruweng people are known by the people of Shumal Sudan. We are known by Mitria. We are known by the Nubian. These are the very people they knew ever since the establishment of the Sudan that had a border, because it was Ruweng that used to fight them. We fought them many times. And Nuer has never been to the Sudan border. They never have any border. It just came recently, following the discovery and the operation of the oil in the Ruweng land during the revolutionary struggle. That's when a lot of these militia from Paulina Matip were actually deployed in the oil field. And these oil fields are mainly located in the area of Ruweng. That's when Paulina Matip tribal militia came to be deployed there as security forces to patrol the oil field. And in other words, it was being used as a buffer zone to beat the security against the SPLA that were in the area. So this is how Nuer, or this particular two counties, the county of Mayom and the county of Rukwana, came to develop their interest in the areas of the Ruweng, because they have got used to the dividend or benefit of the oil. Because by then, their tribal militia were hired by the Sudan Army Force, and they were being paid. That's how Nuer came to occupy that part of the Ruweng Dinka land. And by then, Ruweng was predominantly pro-SPLA, SPLM. That means they were part of the revolutionaries that were fighting against the government of Sudan. But these two particular counties of Unity State, they were going contrary to the interest of the Junubin. So they were actually fighting alongside the Sudan Army Force against the revolutionaries. They were fighting against the marginalization or oppression of the Sudanese, of the marginalized Sudanese in Sudan. So for your information, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a native son of Ruweng. And I'm aware of how our sisterly tribe, Nuer of Unity State, came to develop interest in the area of Ruweng, or which they are today politicizing as if Ruweng have actually annexed and occupied their land. That is false. Their interest in the Ruweng is all about the oil. It is all about the oil. So that's why they are now claiming that they have a border, because they were being used by the Sudan Army Force to occupy, because they were heavily armed by the Sudan Army Force to occupy and to patrol the oil field. And all these oil fields are within the territory, the indigenous territory of the Ruweng. Now the Unity State politicians are actually manipulating the government of South Sudan to the extent that, that Ruweng people are the ones that have occupied their land, which is not true. So this is not the end of this communication. We will continue, and we are going to be on open this time around. Ruweng is not going to be silent, because the more we stay silent without responding to this poor propaganda, or this propaganda warfare waged by the northern counties of the Unity State, the more this propaganda go deeper and deeper. And this is how they continue to propagate lies and falsehoods against the people of Ruweng. And then when some of the politicians in South Sudan, when they look at it, they will assume that, maybe people of Unity State might have a claim to this. But in fact, they do not have any ground to win it. So I just give you a clue. It was just recently, around 1990s and 2000, when their tribal militia were deployed by the Sudan Army Force to patrol the oil field. during the operation of the oil field or during the exploration. So this is how militia Paulino motive was used. All of you are aware of that. This is including Ajade Walade Command. Al Turkaude, it was part of Paulino motive. So these were the agent of NCPA by the time, agent of NIS by then. So for your information, the Sudan Armed Force was the one that occupied this part of the oil. The oil field were actually occupied. They were not liberated. Civilians were actually displaced. And so what happened then? These areas were actually occupied by the civil population of Nuer that were actually taking side with the Sudan government. Because their sons were the one fighting us. They were fighting against us as SPLM during the Revolutionary War. Now it is because of that benefit with our oil, that's what they are still pursuing today. So it is this thing that is now being politicized and is now being propagated that, oh, Ruweng have actually annexed our lands, they have occupied our land, or they are trying to annex our land. This is politics. It's nothing. There's no truth to this, and that's why we have been, ignorant of their claim, because it is something that is laughable. And they think they can actually resort to force, to use of force, to take the land of Ruweng by force. This has nothing to do with Kirmayari. This has nothing to do with anyone. So I think the message is clear. I just give you a hint how these two counties of Unity State, particularly the Rukana, the Lake Nuer, and the Bull, their interest in the oil field in Ruweng areas is because of the oil. That's why they are claiming this part of the land. And that's why they are falsifying that they have a border with Jumal Sudan, when in fact they do not. So anyway, I will stop there. I will stop there, and thank you very much. I will see you next time. So let this message be very clear. We are coming after Lem Tungwar. Propaganda, warfare, falsification will never work. Politicization of the historical map, historical borders, will never be manipulated by politics. It will never be influenced by politics, and it will never be altercated by enemy. So we are not playing this time. We are going to be on offense. We have been silent about this, but make it very clear. This is just the beginning. This has nothing to do with Kirmayari. And I believe Tungwar, Lam Tungwar himself knows this very well. His father is a chief. And during the demarcation of the border, when the paramount chief of the Ruweng people, the paramount chief of the Ken and the Lake and the Bull, they came together and borders were drawn officially. And when that border between the Ruweng people and the Nuer of Unity State were drawn by the river, river is the only barrier that demarcates our border. Anything beyond that is a falsity. Anyone who crosses river, you are actually on the other side. You are on the wrong side. All the Nuer are on the other side of the river. Even Rukana, they are Ruweng. Rukana itself. But it was recently, 1990s, that you came to occupy this land. It used to be a touch, a cattle camp where Ruweng people go and, We have so many torch anyway. We have an abundant land. So most of these land that are now, occupied by the oil field, mostly they are torch. They are a cotton camp, but they are territories of Ruweng. Nuer are only found on the other side of the river. And on the other side on the northern part of the river, there is Ruweng. There is the river that go all the way to Warap, then come and pass between the Mayom and Biemnam, and cross all the way, cut Bantu South, and then come and pass through Rupkana, all the way to the Wainal, which is Lake No. That is our border. So all the Nuer locations are on the southern part of the river. And on the northern part of the river, it is Ruweng territory, starting all the way from Biemnam up to the far east, or from the west to the east, and from the south to the north. The map is stated very clearly. This map was drawn by the British in 1911. Lam Tungwar himself knows this very well. When his father met with my own uncle, my grandfather, they were the one who signed the treaty, the border treaty that was signed by the paramountship of the respective Nuer community and the Ruweng. It was officially officiated. It was spiritually officiated. It was spiritually blessed by the spirit masters of the two communities. And it is something divine. If you continue to claim the land of Ruweng when your own father came and took an oath in the signing of that treaty, border treaty, it will continue to kill you. We believe in that. And it will finish you. The same thing Ruweng believe that if you go and cross the Nuer, you cross to the other side. That's why you see Ruweng always constrain themselves and never want to cross river and invade you. Lake as a tribe, Lake as a section, is equivalent to Kuok, not Beta Fantau. By the time when they used to fight the traditional war, they used to fight Kuok, but Lake alone, but not Ruweng. Because Ruweng has so many clans, sections. And when it comes to Jekeng sometimes can fight Ngir, Wunungir, it can fight Bugarangau, or it can fight Bibio. These are the only four sections, Ruweng, that used to defend the borders of Ruweng. On the south and on the west. Not to mention second land, the Biemnam County. So Lake is not a big threat to us for Ruweng. All these four sections, they can crush them. Second, Tata Bandenga, Chinam Lake, no other. So Ruweng is actually guided by the divine agreement, the divine treaty that was signed between the two paramountship of Nuer and the Ruweng. I don't know exactly when that border was done by the traditional leaders. I'm not talking about the British thing, because that was a government thing. Something was done traditionally to purify the border. That's why people were living peacefully by then. So Lem Tungwa need to ask himself, why is he actually hiding his own father? His father, when it comes to the issue of court, his father will be involved. And I heard one time he spoke about it. He even spoke to his own children that do not disturb people of Ruweng when it comes to the issue of border. This is going to finish you guys. That's why you continue to die aimlessly for nothing, because you're just running after something that you have a political ambition or something to do with economic ambition. just because you are lasting the resources in that part of the land. Matter of fact, you should go and benefit from that of Karjas, that is on the southern part of Bantu. That is your only oil field. That greediness will continue to kill you guys. It is a curse. Think about the divine agreement reached by the paramount chief, including the paramount chief of Lake Nuer, the father of the Tungwadi. The same thing is what is happening in Lake now. The same thing being done to the king of Ajere Chuluk. That's why the king of the Chuluk doesn't want to confront the Jing Fadang, because they know the truth. They speak the truth, they don't lie. Even Chief Tungwa Lake is being hidden today. And his son are the one propagating all this incitement in the media. My friend, we're going to come after you. Either way you want it. So yeah, and we call you 10. And we call you 10, the chin go in the back way. Ko quite Ruweng. We call you better fetch it. The king quite can make you historically. I tong the tongue one, and she go with young. A tongue the thing, she go young. Can I tongue down and check it that yame? He checked me a in a small number, could have good a tea. Never around, he didn't young. Quite a leg, I think a mean Ruweng at the whole. You can mean quite can take it, they would do okay. I say Ruweng. I even a Tari now, Queen, a Chulukan. I want a thought you look, I say Ruweng, but a word cock him and I say, oh, and a woman on the eastern side of the room. Quite you can knock by the Chulukwa. They wouldn't shall a guy. Wouldn't shall a guy, but I need to look on and I teach you look if I can knock by the shall watcher and I watcher. In case I'm not saying, he to look on and he ruin convey job. Who can share Ruweng, but what is a guy shall greater more when they can shall jam? I say it's hard with you. They wouldn't shall a guy. Nên là bên nuôi đây là lager, nên nuôi cho nuôi là lager. Cái nằm bút cái in thật đang bị qua cái đèn cho là gì bùa bùa là gì trung điệp, của giờ là gì quậy go. Cái coi dễ thèn chứ. Cú Ruweng này khi cái biểu có để Ruweng này thằng nhà thằng cái này nó chín năm cái đèn mấy năm đây coi lẽ nó để đâu rồi. Nubi. Cái chín tu. Cô pa lá lo lên đến cho qua thằng cái biếng nằm lên phun. When they nhìn ôi thì cái bul nuôi. Và Ruweng cái tiếng cái gì thì phát thế. Anh chế fan bên leo vậy. Cái lên nuôi cái lùi là ram Facebook vậy. Cái quay. Jama dala lùi Facebook vậy. Anh chỉ thao cô. Bài chứ. Là khi cái cho đỏ có cái cream bên nó quên tổng đi. Cái lùi. Cái cho trong mới đom yếu thì phát. Lúc có chốt trong này phát cái gì đi mi. Cái trong nó phải lùi cả xa là phát. Ruweng nó mang trong lùi phát cái chim câu về lùi. Qua yên cái là lèng ấy nuôi quên nữa là của chị nghĩ thao đấy. À bước gồi dè nó bước đó đùa cái men away. Cái này khi Ruweng lên thao là mà đi. So away cái ba careful coi chip phải. Nó sẽ đâm mình theo hòa nữa cái này. Ê du nó lui dù cái way mà lý xì. Chẳng bao nhiêu phim bên nào thì đứng đại chắc tôi nhiệt. Một chút tôi đi chăm mình qua. Chăm mà nó du về diện kịch. Ở trên lo đằng lên ra ghi cái leo way thì có diện. Cái hòa này ôi thì cái adu của cái Junub Sudan hoặc là cái hòa nó cái tharo ria cái đi cho Sudan amaten. Cái hòa này cái hòa này cái nhiều chỗ cái chăm được nhiều cái gì. Và cái chăm được nhiều cái này nó là nhiều cái này cái chi phải là Ruweng. Cái nhiều cái thi đua. Cái pin hòa này cái nhiều cái thi. Cái là cái bên cái. Cái là cái Ruweng này pin được. Ya jaman, dia da rian de đấy. Cái lùi cái đó đâu có lẽ mà nó vậy chứ nhiều cái pin là best kum ñu ka la ne junu Sudan akene ko le ke wala ke ko jiren ko wala we ñu ci fa ndul ni ngeen ñu nga ma ne we chamam ñu ke junu Sudan ban na cham ñu a ce kar ruwe ni ngeen wada 5% de ne taw de ke da ni taw far ja taw ban tiw ko te en ke oil field den ga we still be there more feel ko ke discover ba de to ka ja bi tuwa ka na fa đi được yêu chăm có gì nào làm phá đi nên chỉ giảm policy cái này nên bị chán theory là uế cái này uế quanh thì mà đến cái gì cái vấn đề khi có con uế drama phải con nó gì đấy em cái qua nó cũng long cái nhìn cái lù cũng là yên anh này cái này quanh những cái tông đi chế mà lùi mà nên phát đàng cho là giảm man cũng là nên quanh những tông đi em nói là gì tông chỉ rồi cái lù em cái chi cái bên nuôi về lôi mà nên là cho nó quay nhìn này cũng là gì nãy yêu nó có để bỏ ra đồn chả cái làm ngán nhỉ mà không em cái là cái ngón chế đó cái gì cái mà nên là đá lá cái nhúa phải à khắp lôi area mà nên cái cho cái giảm ngam ở đi cũng là cái qua đến kia mới ra đi quên nó trên phật qua từ sau kia mới ra đi qua liêu kia mới ra đi cái đặt anh này chẳng có vẻ bên ngông mình phi lên bóc cái president này cô là cái chi đó phi rồi cho ba ấy phải nó cha cố nào lệ quê của là gì nó đi ở đây cái chi có gì lôi vào ở đây cái luộc phi ở trước cái phải chi cái in nó anh nào lôi em claim luôn nhỉ cái này cái Ruwengเขาmà nó cái chế đạt tầm que go nuôi go in bê đi cái đèn thâu thì nuôi cái bán nóชิ้นมันที่ก็กลัวหมูแล้วมันหมูที่ก็หมูแล้วมันรู้ว่ามันคิดหมดอันนั้นบาลแล้วคิดที่ชอบลาฟนาแล้วไปไหนหมูแล้วก็รู้ว่ามันจบไปหมูแล้วนกยามตีนบีโก้ตัวนู้นเป็นน้าเบตุนโอ้เคเรเวเขาเคยนู้นโยโล่เป็นเป็นเนี่ยเป็นนักเล่นเท่าโลกราวอันนึงยันน่าก็จะวัวเสียวกาลาตะเกียววัลเป็นนู้นเป็นวัวนี่ก็เยอะแค่นี้แต่มันไม่มีแบบแค่นั้นku bi Ruweng ba gam da chan ka bana nyu ku nyu wa no ko ben nyu ma ne because ga ke mo de ke si ke ro da cha ka ma ne ke pin me lo ka le mo le pin ke pin ni ku pin ka pin ku ka wa ni nyu ji ni ka ke ba lo ri ya jaman in ke chi chu lo ga wa ye no cha ka le jan ba kho ji ten ku jo ba yo in William du din cha bi chol so I'm not in a position to church tôi nhảy đi của em là mới rồi so cái gì nó cái này but next time video về đi các bạn quen với cái là thế hoàn chỉ cái God coi cả link cái God on behalf cái account the Ruweng và administrative area en cái rồi vui cái em thì ai ý là cái loang đồ guna cái ý này cái nó vô queen của cái cha bi Ruweng ya ko ji ko ban ki ye yine ran da nam de ku ke yine wun pin ke thau ka cái trang lôi qua trả linh ra lấy từ đun à lấy giờ gốc của mỏ cái xin vào kìa cái mình trung qua đi đắng gì nếu mình gì đã cái tin anh gì có những cái đó nó phải chín qua tâm nó anh ghi thì cái đủ được cả cái à cái gì